Hello and a warm welcome to the national news on Star Television, Channel 21. I am Yesi Ernest Hallowell. First, we begin with the headlines. The Anti-Corruption Commission have named among the ministries, departments and agencies the Ministry of Tourism and Cultural Affairs, the Office of the Chief Minister, the Ministry of Water Resources and Agriculture to be investigated on issues bordering on alleged corruption.
So, for general purpose financial summary, there is about 149 billion euros that is missing. When we say missing, do not assume missing to mean somebody has taken that money, put it in his pocket and run away.
The Ministry of Information and Communications has updated media practitioners and civil society organizations on the recommendations on the implementation of the government's white paper.
Right to all those who are holding stocks, they are holding accounts in form of monies, holding any other interest in the form of money or near money in the banks for those to be taken from them in fulfillment of the judgment.
The Creole Descendants Union North American chapter has donated learning materials to the Sierra Leone Library Board.
To achieve quality education, quality education really begins at that small age, when we focus on the beginning.
And in sports, the board chairman of the Sierra Leone Cricket Association, Bresford Bonskoka, has called on the Ministry of Sports and the National Sports Authority to provide more support for the various categories that will be participating in the international competition this 2021. With more support, he is optimistic that they will clinch gold in the competition. Those were the headlines. And now for the news in details. The Anti-Corruption Commission, as part of the intervention into the 2019 Auditor General's report and the 2020 COVID-19 report, the Commission has on Tuesday, January 12, 2021, named among the ministries, departments and agencies, the Ministry of Tourism and Cultural Affairs, the Office of the Chief Minister, the Ministry of Water Resources and Agriculture, to be investigated on issues bordering on alleged corruption. Star Television was in attendance and brings the highlight of the event.
Now we have several issues in descending order in the audit, and we have attacked body of money. So, for general purpose financial summary, there is about 149 billion euros that is missing. When we say missing, do not assume missing to mean somebody has taken that money, put it in his pocket and run away. It may be that projects that are associated with this were actually done. It's just that they may not have followed processes, they may not have retired, somebody who was supposed to provide documents to auditors may not have been there. Our role as a corruption commission is to dig through that and come out with clear findings. There were unsupported payments totaling 96 billion, revenue that was not banked totaling 25 billion, GST that was not accounted for totaling 11 billion, withholding tax, PAYE totaling 11 billion, GST 22 billion, withholding tax 8 billion, NACIT and PAYE totaling 6 billion, fare, issues that have to do with fare totaling 5 billion, unaccounted revenue totaling 4 billion. These are rounded up figures accordingly. NACIT, issues that have to do with NACIT alone total about 4.5 billion, payroll irregularities total 4.3 billion, incomplete projects total 3.2 billion, unverified assets total 2 billion, unpaid loans that were given out and have not been paid total 1.8 billion, unjustified payments total 1.7 billion, unaccounted procurement totaling 1.6 billion, cash deficit totaling 1 billion, unaccounted interest totaling 584 million. Again, this is a serious reduction when it comes to what is to happen in other audits. Excess payment totaling 449 million, unbanked revenue totaling 378 million, unmerited sitting fees totaling 362 million, procurement irregularities again totaling 152 million, staff loans totaling 149 million, incomplete contract total 152 million, unreported revenue totaling 142 million, undelivered goods totaling 70 million, and unsuspected interest totaling 39 million. We have given these figures in descending order. It makes it easy to understand what we are doing. The general purpose finance summary captures anomalies in banking for airlines.
The Ministry of Information and Communications, in collaboration with the Office of the Attorney General and the Minister of Justice, has on Tuesday, January 12, 2021, updated media practitioners and civil society organizations on the implementation of the government's white paper recommendations.
Lawyer Lahai Fama, Principal Legal Advisor in the Office of the Attorney General, gave a brief background on the white paper. He said 24th December 2020 was the deadline for those who are involved to pay what they own to the government. He continued to say the 90 days period which was given by the government to those who are found wanting to comply, but they have refused to comply, and in addition, the 3 months which is the 90 days has been exhausted. He further extended his gratitude to the Ministry of Information and Communication for their active role played during this period. He said if he is asked to give acronym to any ministry, he will give it to the Ministry of Information and Communication.
24th, the 90 days expired on the 24th. That is what we are now doing. We're going to write to all those who are holding stocks, they are holding accounts in form of monies, holding any other interest in the form of money or near money in the banks, for those to be taken from them in fulfillment of the judgment. Send it to the banks where you hold your monies. Those managers who have the monies in your accounts that has been frozen, we'll write to them to turn over.
Furthermore, he also said 24th December was required to be a grace period, and they have categorized the white paper into 3 segments. 1 is the confiscation of assets, 2, refund of legal monies which were not accounted for, and further that they will fuse their accounts since the 90 days has passed and it has been expired.
3 main stages. The first one is the orders that were granted for forfeiture of assets, confiscation of assets, or revocation of those agreements leading to the acquisition or lawful acquisition of those assets. That's stage number 1. We have carried that about nearly 90% because we have taken, as I have said, someone sees to the court, they have granted those orders we are going to perfect now to be published in the National Gazette. The second stage, that's which we are very interested in, the refunds of illegally acquired or unlawfully acquired or misappropriate funds. What is the stage at this time? The first stage was that we try to freeze the accounts so that we will access them anytime we want. Those accounts are frozen, and by law, all we need to do now is to write. Since the 90 days grace which was given to them has expired, we are going to write to the authorities in the management of those accounts to turn them over to our recovery accounts.
The Minister of Information reiterated on the overview of the gathering. He said the government has brought in new tradition to involve government officials to comply, and they will be publishing all names that are not complying.
Much on point. I just needed to re-echo his sentiments around the publication of names. Our government, His Excellency President Julius Maada Bio's government, has brought in a new tradition of transparency and accountability. He has said in several speeches that we will not settle for lesser or greater scrutiny. We started the commissions on a very open note. For the very first time in the history of our country, the commissions were held in open court with the media doing live coverages and all of that. Nobody was intimidated. Nobody was coerced as the naysayer had predicted. Everything went on seamlessly. So in the same vein, we will be publishing the names of all of those who have complied with orders once we get a comprehensive list from the Accountant General's office. We think this is public interest, and we deserve to fulfill that bit of it. Again, just in case there is any reluctance, the Right to Access Information Commission, which this ministry also houses, can be a result. But we will not get there. We will ensure that Once we get a comprehensive list, we'll publish it in much the same way as the government gazette will be publishing the names of people who by law have forfeited property or for whose properties have been confiscated, right? So we'll go for more scrutiny, not less. I mean, this is public interest, and we'll ensure that we'll give that to you. Yeah, thank you.
For Star Television News, Elizabeth Kagwo reporting.
As a way to contribute to the free quality education, which is the flagship program of the government, the Creole Descendants Union North American Chapter has on Monday, January 11, 2021, donated learning materials to the Sierra Leone Library Board. The donation, according to the board chairman of the Sierra Leone Library Board, Professor Pamaja, is a series of third donation to the board by the Creole Descendants Union that is aimed at helping with reading materials. Here's the report.
I remember last year when this union came at this country. They do a lot of things within the country, but the major thing we then do now for the library. Then they bring, then do, you know, when you focus on education, you don't achieve development. And when they came last year, they bring a lot of things for the library, not only children, but even the big one, then where we welcome them and we receive them. And we assure them, say, those things will use them very well for the development of this country. Right now, Sierra Leone is set for achieve quality education. Quality education really begins at that small age. When we focus on the picking them, we bring them up very well. We give them a good head start. And not only the book learning, go learn ABC within the multiplication table, within the division table, but when you play with these things, that's what they call the play way to education. It makes education as fun. All things when they do now, the education. Even when they play with this piano, now big education. I'm not talking about the computer and so on and so forth. So the big thing we don't do for the library, so especially for the children's section.
We glad it for there, and we tell God thank you for honor. For some of we, it not be easy for every reach here. So this nothing will be pray for. And tell God thank you, we will come. Then see a book there, picking the need for read. And get beaucoup kind program like that. Therefore they read, we encourage them for read. Beaucoup things now we go make the picking and read. The picking every day. Let me encourage them for read. And when they work now, they got bless them. I do work when they do. Then be careful for learn, for read. In America, they get beaucoup kind program for let picking and read. Not because in America, so they can't read that. And big you know we know that. Big people and they say where they we don't big. Now that same day they go learn for read. I should say we will go school there. God bless you. Bring them here. Let them benefit them to care. And when I say use them. So come present them here too. Then book here. Then computer then. This keyboard, the piano, all them here. Nothing necessary for the beginning education. Not for just read and write somehow. Not for just for content, add the beginning for some plenty of that thing. I have a little.
Donation there. This one make we don't bring back as a library. And not will only be Freetown Library. Although we don't own this department, the children's department at the Central Library. But one of them say for any program they do or any activity they do, they will materials they will donate to we. The other children's library, they up country, self will benefit and they will do.
The Sedu United family of Sedu Town, Mimikoro Chiefdom in Kono District, as a way of contributing to the beautification of the mineral-rich districts of Kono, have on Saturday, 9th January 2021, officially unveiled the first modern clock tower in the Kono District. Here's the details.
When speaking during the unveiling ceremony, the chairman of the ceremony, Honorable Ambassador Alimami Colson Toure, who happens to be a son of the soil and also aspiring to be the national chairman and leader of the All People's Congress Party, intimated that the people of Sedu family are made up of different ethnic groups but are united in purpose.
At the tongue, where we're so proud, na Kono tongue, but inside this tongue, we get Limbaman, they win at Kono. We get Madingo, they win at Kono. We get Fula, they win at Kono. We get all the tribes in Naya where we consider ourselves as Kono, not as a separate person. So as we gathered here today, and I make a tell you and say I get a mixed feeling. When I can walk all over this place, the Sedu United we form. The person we do, and I'm a small brother, but now big man now, because they say, "Picking well was the hand." It is to big man there, and damn is small brother. It was the hand clean. Today, because of the love we get for this song, we see waiting on begin manifest, and out of that love day, I'm one of the pioneers that will make the Sedu United family. This family, and we all day, and we see the project same, where the mocks come. Because I tell you one secret. Now only one school will be get UMC school Sedu. We all now that we sabi, so one sabi we safe. Now only one mocks we get. When are one of the best mocks within around this area. When our large ability say builder. And every two way they talk, I tell you this, we all sabi we safe by name. And don't be surprised, because we are the first generation. If they say, I said, we're not true. So your goodness, I sleep, I wake, it's all about Sedu.
The paramount chief of Sedu town, Nimikoro Chiefdom, Kono District, Fomansa Iya Dentin F. Bona of Nimikoro Chiefdom, applauded the Sedu United family for their great work, adding that he will always support them in their development drive.
Today, I'm a proud man. Health. When I don't bring well-body in the life of them people then why would not for be appreciative of our effort? Why Sedu people no will continue with unity? Why will not go continue that one till put under unity, peace and waiting? As soon as I don't start time, my brothers and sisters, may blessing and continue for the youth now. We do more than what where people then will continue for admire win and the part of this chiefdom. Nairi.
The people of Kono expressed their satisfaction for such clock tower, expressing optimism that it will serve as a precursor to more development in the district. For Star TV News, compiled by Alfie Bai and read by Aisha Kamara in the studio.
If you've just joined us, you're still with the national news here on Star Television, Channel 21. In a bid to know how residents of the King Tom community have been adhering to the preventive measures of the COVID-19 pandemic, Star Television visited the community to gauge the views of residents amidst the challenging situation, especially with King Tom being one of the dump sites. Here's the highlight of the visit.
The Bome dumping site has been in existence for over 40 years. It is known to be a site where highly toxic waste are deposited. Over these years, this waste lasts for weeks, years, or even decades before decomposing into less dangerous forms. Diseases like malaria, cholera, skin disease, and some immune problems are few of the dangers posed by these sites. The chairman of the King Tom Bome dump site reiterated that since his childhood, he has never seen a project for construction of a community center or medical facility in the King Tom Bome community. Amara further explained the challenges they are faced with during the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. He concluded by pleading to the government and other NGOs to assist women and girls who are suffering immensely in many facets, especially in terms of education.
As far as we concerned, and they not ever be. This smoke we say it's not good for we lives them, and moreover for the small kids them, and I hope so you said don't see small picking, small girl picking them and they bokuna the community. But as far as we concern, we not ever. Some of we don't born now over 30 years. Parents don't now then community over 30, 40, 50 years. One day they will not ever get any help from no medical people or from no organization. Different people out, some people are scavengers. They go school, you know, some man they work. You understand? But during this part, most of we are scavengers. You understand? But we did get daily survival from the dump sites.
Kaba Samoa, the supervisor for the Kintom Bomber dumping sites from the Freetown City Council, said since he took over as supervisor of the site, he has been faced with serious challenges with people, more especially scrap vendors, bushcart riders, with regards to the rightful place to dispose garbage. He further lamented on his experience on waste management in managing the dump site during the rainy and dry season. He concluded that the challenges he and his team face are in two folds: natural and man-made disaster. He went further to explain how they have been adhering to the COVID-19 precautionary measures.
Season them at the month, not the rain and the dry season. Of course, from the experience we get on waste management, more especially of manning dump sites, the two seasons can be a problem. But more especially people that we live within the community. They're in the rains, you get people that we don't build, we don't encourage, we don't build on top of the drainage, especially we're attacking pass. So they find out, see, at the end of the day, if rain come heavily, we can experience flooding. And during the dries, we experience smoke. So that smoke also, it can be twofold or in two ways. One, it can be natural smoke, we can spark up fire. Then the other, it can be man-made. And of course, the man-made, we can get it from most, especially the scavengers, so we can come to the dump site where they can look for the iron, copper, or whatever.
One of the residents at the community spoke on how it is harmful for children living in the community. He said that they are not receiving medical attention, nor do they have the facilities that will aid them carrying out their job effectively, and call on the government for aid.
Because actually, we suffer with the skin. With the skin, see the ill they claim with cats. See all they claim with cats. With the skin, we suffer. So we need a medical facility. Like actually, we teach talking more. Yeah, we need medical facility.
The burning of waste in the Kintom Bomber dumping site has affected residents living in the community. For Star TV News, I am Yero Jalo reporting.
And now to round up the national news, let's turn our attention to sport. The board chairman of the Sierra Leone Cricket Association, Beresford Bonskoka, has called on the Ministry of Sport and the National Sport Authority to provide more support for the various categories that will be participating in the international competition. With more support, he is optimistic that they will clinch gold in the competition.
The Chief Executive Officer of the Sierra Leone Cricket Association, Francis Trevor Samoa, has expressed delight and pride in looking back at the year 2020. The CEO catalogued several achievements by the SLCA, saying the association made great strides despite its cash constraints and other challenges. CEO Trevor Samoa thanks the SLCA chairman Beresford Bonskoka, other members of the board of directors, and cricket match officials, clubs and players. He praises them for the key role they have played in promoting the sport. The CEO also said, over the years, they have also been challenged with funding major international competition, so they want to plead with the government to support future competitions.
The only side we get worried more now for like funding. Why we get worried over funding? Like this team now, they can play international tournaments in April. If we get the money, we get the funding, before making them go play international series like Ghana, Nigeria, we are like 10 match series. Play like Ghana 5 matches, go Nigeria, play like 5 matches. Because what make they look at Nigeria, Ghana, now the teams and the way they up. when it can na Africa or Northwest Africa. So if we will get a very good international series against Ghana, against Nigeria, prior to the international tournament, the World Cup qualifier in South Africa, it will help the team in ranking, it will help the team in form, it will help them get them fit, get them understand exactly what then they go for in South Africa.
Chairman, Board of Directors, SLCA, Beresford Brascoka, said they are pleased with some of the development they have achieved as an association. He said cricket might not be the popular sport in the country, but it had proven to be among the most successful sporting disciplines because of the numerous achievements of the association board. He disclosed that the discipline had done quite a lot for the country. He said cricket was not only a sport, but also a social tool that helped in the development of society. He added that they are putting measures in place to ensure that the game played around the country, especially in schools. They are, however, challenged by the absence of a standard pitch to practice the game and want the government to consider helping with that.
First of all, glad they all lift the ban, but before they lift the ban, we may ask both NSA and the minister that we get we senior side, we get we female side, and we female side ranked 30th in the world out of 104, and we get we on the 19th side, we also did Division 1 Africa. So we ask them that we go permit them people and they for the train, wise the ban in the on because no one lost them. But we feel more happier than that now we get so okay, we start with league because they don't lift the ban on sports and we follow we go forward because as we all know, as I can always tell people, cricket not only the most popular but the most successful sporting discipline in Sierra Leone, and we want to win more laurels. Of course, we know we female and they do very well, we under 19 they do very well. The senior they always average and we try to push them one and day before. So when this ban don't be lifted, we say thank you to the Ministry of Sport, we say thank you to the NSA, and we say thank you to the government with the all lift down. And then we can begin like how you see in the background, we seniors then they begin train and we believe say okay, we'll move forward and we will move not only Sierra Leone Cricket Association but Sierra Leone as a sporting country.
Speaking also in an interview, Technical Director, Sierra Leone Cricket Association, Michael Kabo, said the country has a lot of young talent with the potentials to bring more glories to the country. When asked about the selection of players, this is what he has to say.
Well, basically, we actually want to make the trials end tomorrow, but we are going to give it another week. Trainings and trials. I feel say we get a lot for incorporate, for imbibe in the players, for make them play what we want. Thoughtless or needless to say, we get very good players. Just that we think so we need to work more on the mental strength and the fitness, and also we need a team, not players. Individually they're good, we know that, but we need players. We need a team. So we're working on that now. We're looking for strong partnership, especially with the open batsmen, and which we are struggling with at the moment. Bowlers, we are blessed with bowlers.
Gabriel Anthony, the assistant head coach of the under-19 team, said the country has made great progress in cricket competition abroad, noting that it is their responsibility to promote the discipline in the country.
Honestly and truly, like what you said, they see from the field, and they're good at the stage in national trial, that they see everybody get opportunities to show themselves. And now I would tell you, say surprise they don't take place. People who them see the government at the games, they don't show themselves, they keep proving themselves. Although it's not to the only Sousa you can determine the player. But it shows if you're able to put someone at such pressure, you can able to make a team, and it left to the other technical staff there to make them, put the team together. But the trial has been so good.
George Punde, the under-19 head coach said the boys are well prepared for the upcoming competition. And also, when speaking about discipline, he said discipline among the boys is one of the main factors for their success.
Yes, truly under 19, I would not see vast improvement for the 19, but they don't improve. Guys, some young boys, they don't come from under 17, they don't come when under 19. They don't improve drastically. We should appreciate our guys. They don't improve. They should get confidence. If they go out there in the competitions, we'll go better.
For Star Sports in Freetown, George Elliott Sam reporting.
Well, viewers, that's how we draw the curtains down for today's edition of the National News. I'm Yessi Ernest Hallowell. Many thanks for watching and do continue to stay with us.